Hey, it's Monday, and June is coming to an end. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Boy, it's been a hell of the last 3 days. Man. All I can tell you is that I didn't see any of that coming, boy. That was a complete surprise, all of this bike pouring. Jesus, the news media. What a headache that was. The whole thing was a headache. Here comes some idiot screaming up there. I guess people don't realize there's like a red light here. You have to stop at it. I didn't see any of this coming. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know. You know, I knew that Marcus had said he was going to get me, but I didn't realize what he meant. He gave me an ultimatum. You either do this, or on that date, something will happen. Well, I didn't know what he was talking about. Now I found out. Anyway, that was a complete shock, and you know, I gotta say, I'm sorry to the TriMet management that got inconvenienced by this. I had no idea this was going to happen. I didn't see it coming at all. I just didn't see this as an issue. I didn't see that there was going to be any issue here involving that person taking a video of me while that just was a non-issue. I don't know how he got media to be caring about this. It's not like I've been an unknown quantity. I've been doing this for years. I mean, I've been out in the public with all of this stuff for years. So how come all of a sudden they decide they're going to make an issue out of it? I don't get it. I mean, when the Chris Alexander thing was going on, I was publicly defending him and talking about my video stuff. So I don't understand why all these months later, all of a sudden, it becomes an issue. I don't get it. So what, Marcus Griffith has some kind of connections or something? Is that what it is? Like Portland has, I don't think bikeportland.org. Jonathan, I don't think he had anything to do with it. I mean, how did it happen? I still don't understand how this even happened. So I'm sorry, you know, I never meant for the managers to have to get actively involved in a situation that I created. You know, basically I've always seen myself as just a petty annoyance to some of the management here. You know, like, there's Al again, he's ranting about some crazy shit like he always does, you know. But then, you know, they just go about their business and tolerate me, and, you know, I go about my business and do my job. You know, I'm two different people. I don't think a lot of public understands that. I'm a ranting blogger, but I'm a good bus driver. It's not the same person. I don't think people really do. Some people really don't get that it's not the same personality. They think that guy you see in the internet videos is actually me that's behind it. It's not the same person. You know, I blog and I have a style. It's a little bit outrageous maybe, but that's what I like to do. I don't know why. I don't know. But you know, I am a damn good bus driver here. I mean, I know what a good bus driver is, and I fall into that category. Anyway, it's all turned into a whole procedure change, policy change. And so now we have one more limitation added to me, which is I can't have an interview or so. I can't talk to any, you know, it's really kind of odd. I can't wait to hear the wording of this, because I was just talking to somebody. I wasn't doing anything other than talk. You know, I was talking to somebody. That's what you saw in the video. That was the big objectionable video. It was just me driving. I mean, everybody has their own style. Nobody's like focused, like, oh my God, just keep your eye on the road at all times. Nobody drives like that. No good driver, you know. Those of us that have been driving for years, you know, we've developed the proprioceptors to do the job. You know, we know where everything is. I wouldn't have 14 years of safe driving if I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like I said, when you come into the transit bus world, if you achieve a 5-year safety record, that means you've got a hint about how to do this job right. And after you make 10 straight years, you can say that you're a veteran driver. Okay, 10 straight years without an accident, you can say you know what you're doing. You know how to handle a transit bus. So I definitely know how to handle a transit bus. And now to make matters worse, we have Mary out there kind of being nice about this. You know, it's kind of, she's being nice. You know, so now that's going to make it hard for me to pick on Mary anymore now too. I mean, I was kind of contemplating the cosmic implications of all this. I mean, Fred is leaving this week, okay, and that's the end of Fred. I mean, for all the fun I've poked at Fred over the last few years, believe me, I am going to miss that character because, and I explained this before when Steve Banton and Peggy left. This to me, I don't know, I'm the first generation of the TV generation. I guess the TV generation is gone now because it's a computer generation now, video game, but when you're in the TV generation, you grow up with these characters, watching them on a TV series, and you actually get to know them. You get to know these characters, and you feel like you know them. And remember when the characters, the lead actors, they would just change the actors, and how much we'd hate that? We would just hate that. It's like, what? You can't change that character? That's like your friend or something. And I mean, that's how I feel about these characters, including Fred. I mean, how am I supposed to take Neil McFarlane seriously as a general manager when I'm programmed for Fred? You know, it's Fred. That's the only general manager that I can possibly actually comprehend is Fred. As crazy as that sounds. But now all of a sudden they're going to have Neil, so I'm going to have to be like looking at him and go, wait a minute, how am I going to get used to this guy? That's not my general manager anymore. So he's going, and then we have now Mary being nice. Now I'm going, oh God, now how am I supposed to be picking fun at her after this incident? So I can't do that anymore. So I've lost Fred, I've lost Steve, I've lost Peggy, and I've lost Mary on my show. I've lost all of my characters all at once. It all happened at the same time. I mean, this last week, the last week of Fred, also was the last week for me in many ways, and that's how the cosmos aligns. You see how I always talk about vortexes of energy. But Fred's leaving, and Fred was the main character. He was like the daddy. Let's face it. He was the daddy character. His leaving changes everything. You know, the show's never going to be the same now. I mean, I miss Peggy and I miss Steve. I didn't know Fred that well. I met him several times. Always liked the guy. I mean, anybody that met Fred will tell you they liked him. It was impossible not to like Fred. That's where his power was. You could not dislike Fred. It was impossible to dislike Fred. And that's where his real power, that's where his real magic was. You met the guy and you just liked him. There's just nothing you could do about it. I mean, that's how he was. Very likable man, and he's going to be gone. And then now, you know, what a tragedy! What a tragic week for TriMet historian buffs. You know, now I don't even get Mary to pick on anymore either. So, boy, who would have ever known that it would have come to this? What a mistake that was going to Bike Portland. What a mistake! I sure wish I could turn back the hands of time, but I can't. It's done. It's done, it's over, it's finished. Now it's, you know, I don't know. It's very appropriate in some ways, you know. Fred's leaving should have some major impact on my life, and this was it. Even though it wasn't directly related to him, it happened at the same time, which it should have. And so those energy waves, they travel in, the waves travel in waves, you know. The wave will wash up, get a whole bunch of people involved with it, and then it will fade away. And this was my wave, I guess.